Okay, this episode is my part 2 on rock tumblers. The first part I did an episode on the Lortone rock tumbler, and it failed on me, and I had a lot of issues right from the start, right out of the box, which I went into in that other episode. If you want to know more about these the Lortone rock tumblers. Okay, and that was a 3-pounder also. What I did was 2 days ago, I went to Harbor Freight, and they sell a lot of Chicago tools, and they had this in stock. And with tax, it was like 57 bucks, and which is good because the Lortone cost me $100, and it's the same size rock tumbler. And this one is much heavier duty. I found it was much heavier. I opened it up. The motor was bigger. The pulley system was much better. I had problems with the belt snapping on the Lortone because they used a little round O-ring for a belt. Just, round sectioned O-ring off of something. I don't know what, but anyway, this, I was pleasantly surprised with this new tumbler. It came with 5 belts. And they're heavy duty, much heavier duty than the Lortones. As you see, this is not a circular O-ring. This is an actual belt. It's a square cross section. They included 5 of these, and I went on the Harbor Freight website and I found they sell these for $3 each. So I got $15 in belts included. So actually I got the tumbler for 42 bucks. And now I got the extra belts if I need them, but these are much heavier duty than the Lortone, those little small O-rings. So I wanted to do an update on that. It also comes with, it tells you in the instruction manual about the grits. You have to go out and buy these grits. And it tells you this. They have a 4-step process. I use a 5-step process, but okay, you're going to start with the coarsest grain, the silicon carbide, 60 to 90 grit. Second step, it's a finer grit, 220 grit. Then your third step's a 600 grit, silicon carbide, and they have their last step as a polish, which tin oxide, cerium oxide, or titanium dioxide they use as a polish. And what I've been using is a 5-step process. And the grit type is about the same. Step 1, a 60 to a 90 grit. Step 2, 120 to 220 grit. And that gives you some idea what the dealers, the Rockhound dealers, charge it. But there's a lot in there, 15 bucks. I mean, I've been using this grit for 2 years, and my rock tumbler is almost always running, and I still got tons of grit left. Step 3 is a 600 grit. To say, look how much I have left. I mean, I just got, they gave me a lot. You're only using tablespoons of this, not that much in each step. Okay, step 4 is called a pre-polish, and that wasn't very expensive. It was only a little over 5 bucks. And the step 5 is the final polish. Okay, I go through, and that's a week per step. So I go through a 5-week process. Anyway, a lot of people don't know about tumblers, so I'll explain what you're doing here. You're going to be filling this up. I fill them up 2/3 of the way. And then you put in your grit, whatever step you're in, you just dump your grit in there. And then you fill it up with water. And what you do is that top layer of rocks up here, you're going to bring the water level up to the bottom of that top layer of rocks. And then you're just sealing it up, with this stuff here. And well, that's a crystal I got in quartzite last year. And I don't think it's a rock crystal. I think it's glass. because I see air bubbles inside of it. But I traded the guy some gold dust for it, so it didn't cost me anything. But this thing is unbelievable. It focuses the sunlight. I actually can use this as a fire starter. I can actually start a fire with this. It's difficult doing this on the camera shot and all that. But I actually have burned my name into wood with this thing. You know, so it definitely magnifies. It gets super hot. So you don't want to be leaving this thing in the sun. It's a big crystal. Very cool. I just think it's really neat. Kind of reminds me of the Wizard of Oz. Anyway, I'm finding a lot of this whole area where I'm camped here is all dredgings from the Colorado River. So I'm literally on top of 15 feet thick to 20 foot thick dredgings in Colorado River. For they made the All-American Canal, but that was actually all part of the Colorado River thousands of years ago. And you can tell because all the river cobble. It takes thousands and thousands of years for rocks to get this smooth, you know. So that was in the Colorado River for thousands of years. That's the natural rock tumbler, you know. They call this river cobble. It's all over the place. These are pieces I kept just because they look so nice. You know, if you spray them with water, you'll see how nice they come out. I mean, showing you all that layering, I guess sedimentary layering, I'm not sure. Because they're awfully hard stone, they seem to be harder than sedimentary rocks. So, and this is like jasper. There's chalcedony here. I just found a piece right on my campsite here. Good sized chunk. You can see right through it. Hopefully you can see right through it. You know, it's hard to do these shots with the smartphone. And then if I go towards the sun, it's going to be real difficult. But that is going to come up beautiful. After 5 weeks in the rock tumbler, this thing is going to be looking like a piece of glass. And I just found that today, right on my campsite. Now there's a lot of this black rock. That's how it looks before, and this is how it looks after the 5-week process. A lot of that all over the place. I stopped picking it up because I got so much of it. I mean, if you look down here, this is all stuff I got to tumble. This is a piece. It's got like mixed jaspers, like reds and orange jaspers and yellow. It's a very cool piece, and I put that through the 5-week process. Just a very cool piece. This is white agate. It's not quartz, it's actually white agate. Very, very nice piece. I got a lot that I got out of the 3-pound tumbler before. Let me just show you a quick view of the new. I'm very impressed with this Chicago tumbler. Okay, and I keep it underneath my travel trailer. And I'm running this off of my solar power, my solar panels. Let me just take this out. One thing I noticed, the rollers, one roller is higher than the other. Lortone changed that design, went level with their rollers, and it constantly was binding and stopping my tumbler, the barrel. So they stuck with keep one roller, the stationary, you know, this roller, which isn't mechanized, and then you got your other roller, which is running off the belts. Okay. So anyway, they know how to make a tumbler, and like I say, this thing is much heavier duty. I'll put this back in there. Okay. What else did I want to tell you about? I think I've gone into most of the things I wanted to describe about this tumbler, this new tumbler. So far, I'm real happy with it. And then they you know, included all the extra belts. So, and they're just so much heavier duty than the ones that Lortone were using. You know, these I think are going to last a long, long time. So anyway, that's about it for this part 2 on tumbling rocks. I'm out at Imperial Dam, long-term visitor area. And every so often I go out and pick up rocks. I got so many right now, that's going to take me months and months to do all these. And they don't look like much, you know, before they're tumbled. But boy, some of these are going to be beautiful looking, you know, after they're tumbled. Especially like the greens. I like unusual colors or contrasting colors. These are going to come up really cool looking. You see contrasting colors in the rock, and that, you know, wetting them down, that simulates how they're going to look after they're fully polished. You know, this one's got like little pieces of quartz mixed into it, into a reddish colored rock, so that's going to look cool. Colors like green, I always pick up. I like green, you know, green colors like that. You know, anything that's got a lot of striations in it, or it's got, like, say, like this one here, it's got a little quartz streak through it and it's black. That's going to look cool. You know, you kind of have to envision what the rock's going to look like after it's been polished for 5 weeks. That's one of the tricks, you know. And one way I do it is I just from experience, you just know what's going to come out good in a tumbler. You know, this one, look, I just like the layering effect in it. You know, this one, it almost looks like tiger eye, kind of. I don't know. It's got a cool look to it. So, this one again, it's got a nice streak of green and light green. So, anyway, if you're into rock hounding, you'll probably enjoy it. My rule of thumb is look for the cobblestones. There's a lot of gravel pits out here, and there's no cobblestone. Well, you start seeing the cobblestone, that means that came out of the ancient Colorado River, which is nowhere near here now, but it used to be even 100 yards from here. You would get all this round river rock, anything that's smoothed out like this. This is all got smoothed out. This was in the river. All this cobble. So that's what I look for. You're going to find nice agate, chalcedony, jaspers, unusual layered rocks, different colors. Anywhere where you see that cobble. And it goes all along this All-American Canal, 20 feet deep. So, and it probably goes for over a mile. So anywhere you see that cobblestone, just start looking closely at your rocks. Some real beauties. I've found a lot of cool ones. I just showed you a couple, but that came out of the tumbler. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode. This is Eagle Eric signing out.